Hello. I know the timer's not done, but I was technically already late to begin with. So, hi everybody, welcome on in. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day today. Happy Thursday, happy early Friday. Yeah. Well, I was already 2 minutes late to hitting the start button today, Rev, because I got distracted playing Coin Pusher, and that's my fault. I was real behind. Because I straight up Racoin, R-A-C, Racoin, Coin Pusher Roguelike. It's a game on Steam. It is a roguelike of those coin pusher games that we used to like play in the arcade. I was like, oh, I have like 20 minutes before I'm, supposed to start stream. Like I could do a round of Coin Pusher. No, I cannot. It takes longer than that. Originally, at first, I was like, oh, I could try and do like one boss fight in Dead as Disco, because I have been watching some people play it to try and get a better feel of this. So, I don't know. But I did not, because I was like, no, it's gonna take me like 25-30 minutes just to get through one freaking boss. So I don't want to do that. So I was like, I could do Coin Pusher, but then I still ended up late. My bad. Welcome on in, everybody. Hope everyone is having a wonderful day today. I came home. I pretty much tidied my house. I'm still finishing up a couple loads of laundry here. And then I have to put them all away. And I need to do some more light cleaning before family comes in tomorrow afternoon. And are here all weekend. So that's where I will be. Doing that. Trying to think of what else. I don't know. It felt like a productive afternoon. Can't complain. We got a bunch of new patients in my building today. I originally thought that I was only gonna have to be in my building for like 2 hours. It ended up being until like I was there until like 12:30. So not bad, but obviously not bad because I'm being paid. But I was just expecting to only be there for a short amount of time, but I was there for longer, which is beneficial, meaning that I get paid more. But I did just get a text message from my manager saying that there's no new admissions this weekend, so I only have to go to one building tomorrow. So, good stuff. Yeah, that's it for the most part. We're gonna play Wax Heads today. We're gonna continue on with where we left off yesterday. So I'm very excited for that, to keep playing more of it. We made it through part A, like side A yesterday, and into side B. And I found out it goes all the way up to side E. So we'll see how this goes. I thought there was only a little bit left of game, and we could probably finish it today. But I'll be honest, I don't think we're finishing it today, so we might have to finish it next week. So good times. Should be a fun time. But yeah, as I open up our daily games for today, let me know. Do you have any weekend plans going on? What are the vibes like for your upcoming weekend? Is it a lay low weekend? Is it a weekend like mine where you are literally doing everything? Fill me in. Well, I pull up the crossword here. I have both water and Alani today. So I forgot I moved my head to this corner. All good. Alrighty. starting our daily games. Yesterday was now Waxhead is pretty long. Took me about 9 hours. So many music focused games this weekend. Yeah. Bruce was just telling me about a game called Mixtape. Oh, we're back to Waxheads apparently. What is it? Mixtape? This one? Please enter your birthday. Frick. So I expose my freaking birthday. Oof.
Tonight, we're invited to Camille Cole's beach party.
Which seems interesting. Play through a mixtape of memories set on the soundtrack of a generation. That's like pretty much it. So, but yeah, but entirely about the story. Yeah, yeah, lots of cool music games this week. As I just said, Dead as Disco just released. There's been some other cool ones too. So. Mom in Town went to dinner yesterday and later tonight. Also, a concert tomorrow night. Fun. Always exciting. Love that. I'm trying to think if there was any other. Recommended by my friend, Sons of Mothers.
Hey, hello, it's me. It's A.P. Thompson back with another go at letting you.
It's Titanium Court. Interesting. Interesting. Who? Interesting. The Steam recommended page at the beginning here. I was like, okay, this one was recommended by Devin. That's why it's recommended. This is just another early access. Don't know why. Heartopia. They use AI, so I don't support that. Oh, that's cute. Recommended by Wholesome Games. That one's just on promotion. Because you played games tagged with Creature Collector. That's not the only one that is like Creature Collector. That's just another early access game. Infinity Nikki. Creature Collector. Another one. Weird. If you want a weird as hell roguelike, then Titanium Court has its charms. I would assume so, considering it was recommended by Devin. Sons of Mothers. On Twitch. So I don't doubt it. It was probably an interesting game. What? Oh, that's Heartopia. Yeah. Ooh. Kind of scary. Oh, they just updated 2-Point Museum. I remember that. I'm not gonna scroll down any farther on Steam. But yeah. Steam Deck Builders Fest. Ooh, you can play Exploding Kittens too. Didn't know that. Dicey Dungeons. Dyson Fold. Oh, I was looking at this game for a while. It's called Book of Hours. You restore like a library. And it seemed interesting, but it also seems extremely complicated. So, fun. Alrighty, well, there you go. That's what I was looking at, I guess. Fun stuff. Yeah, lots of cool music games this week. So, as well. So what are we all doing for David Attenborough's 100th birthday tomorrow? Well, It is actually a 20-something brother's birthday tomorrow. He turns 23 tomorrow. So that is what we are doing, is we are celebrating and going out to dinner him instead of David Attenborough. So if you go on a game of Doom and Despair, then Dead by Daylight is the way to go. Yeah, I still technically need to play Dead by Daylight with y'all. Oopsies. Libro Vitae? Yeah. Yeah. So basically, you're gonna get crunk? Yeah. Not a lot. No, not really. A little bit. Not a lot, though. Because Saturday is his girlfriend's graduation. So, a little bit different. Yeah, that's what they all say. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's still supposed to be cold tomorrow, freaking too. What the frick is that? Yeah. Oh, actually, it's supposed to be a high of 61 tomorrow, so maybe it'll be semi-warm. But today was a high of 51, and it was still kind of cold, so, eh. AT's brother's birthday is right before my brother's birthday, but my brother will be 24. Just a year older. Or 364 days older. There you go. It is before my birthday in 10 days, but I will be 24 too. There you go. There you go. And that makes me giggle since our brothers share the same name. Yeah. Yeah. Wild times. My brother was supposed to be named another name. Because it was a family name. But then our next door neighbors at the time had a kid the day before. Literally May 7th. Today. Instead of May 8th. Before my mom. And they named their kid something close to that name. So my brother was supposed to be named Karsten. Carston. Karsten. And they named... The neighbor named their kid Carson. The day before. So then my mom was like, well, we can't name him that. And that's how he ended up with his brother. With his name. Instead. So... True. 20-something brother. You got it. Alrighty. Here's our daily games. It hasn't been a female character in a hot minute. This is a little disappointing. I don't know where I won't promise today. Fuck. Either red or yellow, and then active or simple. It's probably simple if I had to guess. Not the misogyny from the knuckle, I know. It's either, again, it's either cranky or lazy. Ooh. Who do we think has a red or yellow pattern? Let's go with this one. Oh, it is? Okay. Cool. So it's definitely simple. And lazy. And nature. Who do we think has a red or yellow color palette? It won't be Bo because he's a deer. It won't be Eric because he's a deer. between lines. Let's try Rex. We have 5 different star signs too. No aqua, no blue, no beige, no brown, no gray, no purple, no black. Simple, lazy, in nature? That's me. Leo, Libra, Gemini, Capricorn, Cancer. Talking to me as if you knew me, saying, be home for next year, darling. I'll be home for next year. And, ooh, they are a Virgo. Okay, cool. That'll narrow it down a lot. So not yellow, but red. I'll be home for next year. Jacob. Nice. Alrighty, we did it in 7. In 7. Let's do the blueprint and then we'll do our crossword. Think of me. Rumpus room. 6, 7. Hi, G-Money. Welcome on in. Ooh, yikes. So if it's... Oh, okay. So that's got to be 4 entrances. Ugh. What the frick has 4 entrances? Long time. Okay. 4 entrances and unusual. Cost is expensive. Fuck. To me as if you knew me, saying, I'll be home for next year, darling. Fuck. So here's the thing. It costs 2. It's got 4 entrances. It's not commonplace. But it is part hallway. So what are the, like, half hallway, half something rooms? Ooh, is it pool hall? Oh, but that only has 2 doors. Fuck. Hey, now it costs if you know that you will. But it's not an upgrade room. Fuck. Nice, smells like chocolate. Say the way go, nobody knows. Gone soon, I bet it goes soon. Never gonna quit it, no, we're never gonna quit it, no. Fuck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 letters. No, there only is 3. What the fuck has 4 entrances? That's what she said. Hey, we still got it in 5. I'll take it. I'll fucking take it, y'all. We found it. We found it. All good. Alrighty, there's the link to the crossword. If you've never joined us for the crossword before, you're in for a treat. We try and speedrun this together as fast as possible. Our time to beat for Thursday is 1 minute and 53 seconds. You can click on that link in the chat. It'll take you to the actual crossword itself, and you can type in whatever answers you would like. Or you could drop whatever answers you would like in the chat, and I can read them, and I can put them in the chat for you. Our only rules are don't hit reveal because it'll spoil it for everybody. You can use check as much as you like. And then just don't start yet, because I'm going to take a sip, and then we'll start, and we'll do the countdown. You're in for a real treat. W White Claws. This is the cherry Alani today, so. Alrighty. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, go. Foxtrot follower. I don't know what the G is. Took off. Brilliant. Land division. Some tissue in the central nervous system. Shit, if I know. Isn't it supposed to be like... I think it's boot, isn't it? Yeah. HOA. Elusive picture book character. Waldo. Oh, shit. Quantum mechanics phenomenon. Don't know. Frozen gutter problem. Saturday Night Live unit. Don't know. Ditto. Not great, say. Sanskrit title of respect. Let's do this thing. Mont Blanc. Lego unit. Oh yeah, brick. Thank you. Sweet and tart fruit drink. Don't know. Not of this world. Messy class often. Uno y uno dos. Therapeutic canopy for some respiratory ailments. Really? There we go. Board VIP is exact. Italian bowling game. A bit off. Gig segments. Don't know. Outer Bank. What kind of terrier is this? Sky Terrier? Apparently. Okay. PowerPoint file essentially. Slide deck. Hardy Bowlful. Seam contents. Crossed out. Red. X'd. Thank you. Org for Jazz Quintet. Don't know. Taking. Talking. Twos. There we go. Someone else got it. Alrighty. Cool. 252. Pretty darn good. Nice job, everybody. What is this one? Oxygen tent? Okay. What was this one? Some central... Yeah, it's gray matter. Yeah. Makes sense. Mango lemonade. Okay. Fun. Knew it had to be something along those lines, but didn't know what. Alrighty. Let's play in much of Wax Heads as we can today. We won't be live for too long, but I would like to get a decent amount of progress done on this game. So, agrees. That was a fun one. It was. It felt like it was going pretty good. So, we don't have White Claws here, and I don't really know what seltzer is, so I can't imagine what they're like. Do you have sparkling water, Kristen? It's like more bubbly sparkling water, but with flavoring. That's what a seltzer is. But then injected with alcohol. So I might hate them, understood. Basically flavored seltzer water with a small amount of vodka. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. You got it. Alrighty, this is where we left off last week. Live with Clive. As flavored sparkling water, though? I would agree with that. Yeah, I prefer them over like a flavored sparkling water any day. So not quite the same. So we need thick White Claws next. Ooh. Don't know about that one. Welcome back to Monster Music TV. If you're just joining us, we have here in the studio the man of the moment, the one and only James Grenth. Good to see you, Clive. I don't know what seltzer is. Okay, so imagine seltzer. Yep. Now, James, I'm going to be honest. This might be a little painful, so I'll just come out and say it. Most of our younger viewers may not recognize you. Or if they do, it may be as the husband of pop icon Will McIntyre. But that would be a disservice, as you are a man of real music pedigree. You were once the bad boy guitarist in 80s dream pop band Becoming Violet. Let's not forget your divisive solo album, Hands on My... Clive, please. That's all very true, but there's no need to be so nostalgic. I've kept very busy since those ancient times. Indeed you have. You've become a linchpin of the music industry behind the scenes. Well, what can I say? Good art recognizes good art. Which brings us to what you wanted to share with us today. Please tell us more about Press Play, your new all-in-one music platform. Well, that's just it. All in one. I identified something people want, and I have the means to provide it. Could you elaborate? To my mind, there's too much friction getting in the way of what we want. Too many squabbling woke press outlets, incompetent record labels, half-broken ticketing apps, dilapidated music venues, and, dare I say it, too many desperate bands all scrambling for our attention. The noise of it all. Aren't you just sick of it? I know I am. I want to remove all that stress. So with Press Play, that's really all you'll ever have to worry about. Pressing play. Sounds like you want to monopolize the music experience? Close, Clive. Close. But not monopolize. Centralize. And it'll all be driven by someone people can trust. Me. Me and Play Amy. That is the first artificial music intelligence. Ooh. Sounds fancy. Oh, it is, Clive. It is. How much will it cost? Bubbly water, yeah. People do worry about how much they've got in their pockets these days. Can you share some light on the cost? Haha. Well, Clive, here's an exclusive for you. Press Play will be entirely free. No advertisements. Simply all our users have to do is sign our plain and simple worded agreement, which includes a nominal transactional fee. And then they'll be free to press play. My ass, not free. How will bands be supported? Voice for the artist here, James. Could you explain to us you envision bands and artists existing in the ecosystem of Press Play? Nothing is more important to me than the livelihood of our artists. That's why, free of charge, every band, singer, or musical artist will have already automatically be signed up to our Play Amy database. By archiving them inside our Streamline platform, we'll be ensuring their music is heard by millions. Because what does any band truly want if not to be heard by the masses? And thanks to Press Play and Play Amy, we can make that a reality. That doesn't explain how they're getting paid. Ew. Ew. Nasty. Fuck you, James. Alright. This is track 8 on B-side. Okay, let's hear it. We've had the upstairs open a little while now. Has it been worth it? Because you know I will, in fact, accept no other answer. Well, Hank's the numbers guy, but I think it's been fine. Are you telling me we've sold our souls to Ponko for nothing? I mean, what even is that thing? I was told it would be the hot ticket to invest in the Ponko Gallery. The Ponko Gallery? Listen, I can hear that skepticism, but what matters here is getting more records in people's hands. Sometimes you gotta improvise. I think the kid may be raising a valid point about the commodification of music and your willingness to use Ponko, a popular figure that's essentially devoid of meaning. Uh-huh. I've been accused of selling out plenty of times. I was in a pop band, remember? I didn't necessarily mean to say you were selling out. No, it's all fair. The line is thin. To me, it's simple. I'm trying out a thing to save the shop. Thing that benefits more people than harms currently. So are there any more ethical objections I should know about? Nope. Great. Lovely. Just so you know, I do not encourage lively debates on capitalism first thing in the morning. And now I really want a cigarette. Open up the shop without me. I need to obsessively click this pen for the next 10 minutes. So let's shake off this tension. Hang on. I want to listen. For the new EP, make sure you follow Girl Junk on social so you don't miss out. For the freshest music taste. Who is this? Minnie Minx? Minnie and Minx returned with Fundam. Ooh. First album by the duo since publicly announcing themselves as a couple. Cute. Cannot recommend it enough. Alrighty, let's go open. Hey. Don't take too much mind of Morgan. We're in exceptional circumstances. But it's cool of you to speak up, even though you hadn't been with us long. Morgan will know we're only doing it because we care. 2 dead ends and you still got to choose. Tom Waits says it best. But let's see if we can't find our own way through. Ready to rumble? Let's open. Okay, here we go. We're opening the store. Hey, remember me? I just had to thank you. I owe you big time. She called you? So you do remember. I'm not here by myself is what I'm saying. Be cool though. You ran off. Sorry. I just got a little excited. It's okay. You look cute when you're excited. Ah, stop it. Not in front of the clerk, God. You look cute too. Oh, right. So we wanted to celebrate us, and because this is where we first met, we thought we should buy a record together, but we can't decide what to get. Uh-oh. I still think Ego Sunny Side Up. No, ew, Robbie Dare is such a creep. Ouch. What about Brick Dog? Don't you already own all their albums? Yes. Can't we just listen to them at your place then? Wow. Yeah, okay, we can do that. But what to get now? Oh, I know. Have you ever listened to rap? Rap? Yeah. I haven't. Rap is amazing. Did you ever watch Reggie's House as a kid? RXX is actually legit. I never watched it. What? But how? I mean, no, that's cool. Is there any rap that's romantic? Romantic rap? That sounds so cute. Yes, let's do it. Store clerk, let's celebrate how cute we are with a romantic rap album. Huh. It's almost as if we probably just got it in, huh? Yep. Hopefully this is the right one. Who are they? Ooh, yeah, that's Minnie and Minx. They're cool. Didn't they just come out as a couple? They're a couple? Like us? I mean, yeah. So this is romantic rap? When you put it that way. Let's go listen to it. Thank you. Wait for me. Hell yeah. George the Collector. Afternoon, my fellow budding archivist. I'm a connoisseur of collections myself. Records, DVDs, comics, you name it. I collect them all. But today is a great day for some legendary tunes. If you're gonna collect vinyl, you have to go all in. And me, I go all in. I'm after something epic. What fearsomely loud, trashy collector's edition do you have for me? I'll show you. It's upstairs. I know exactly where it is. Give me a second. It's this one. That's the collector's edition, right? Be still, my metal thumping heart. I mean, just look at it. It's a beauty. Full art printed on the vinyl, limited edition sleeve, written notes of production insights. Now this is a true collector's item. I salute you, fellow collector. You looked inside my heart and you knew what was missing. Very well. Thank you and good day. Hell yeah. Sup, amigo? I got a level with you. I'm currently following down a dark haze hole. We're talking melting walls, swirling floors, and fluorescent gremlins. A David Lynch picnic box is taking place inside my noodle, and I am in desperate need of a way to escape. I need some spectral stoner rock. I gotta fight fire with fire, amigo. I got you. I actually think I know which one it is. I think it's this one. Written by a bunch of talented, anxious, stoned out teens. Right? I don't think there's anything else that's new that would be good for this, right? Oh, what is this? Sour milk? Dense sour milk.
Sour milk drips from greedy pores. Drips from greedy pores.
Fun! Alrighty. Yeah, I definitely think it's this one. Is that a ghost hiding in a bucket? And it's a Pale album? I think, amigo, you've just found my ticket to serenity. Those hopped up freaky kids know how to live in the edges, you know? You saved me. I'm gonna go swim in the swirling depths right now. Peace and melt with love, amigo. Hell yeah. Hello! It's your favorite back to slay and here to stay. Actually, I'm not here to stay. It's my lunch break. I only have a few minutes and it's back to corporate Paul. Look, I don't even have nails on. Who even am I? But girl, real talk. Have you heard that stuff about Mimi using a ghostwriter? Can't believe it either. Mimi was supposed to be different, you know? A pop singer who can write her own lyrics. Like the last generation of pop idols. I don't know what to think. Everything else going okay? I kind of called Morgan a sellout, and yet you live to tell the tale. I wouldn't worry, Morgan isn't someone who fires staff post-shift. And she's honest, with other people at least. But what's most important today is that I'm going to be optimistic, because my star sign said I should be. Well, time for me to transfer back to Corpal. This is why I leave the creative stuff that isn't art to other people. If I were a writer, I'd be embarrassed with that name. I'm gonna go say hi to my number one Mateo, and then I'm out of here. Thank you again for your help. See you later, Hanbun. Cute! Oh no, not them again. Another costume. Count Dizzy Demon. You are a Dizzy Demon, right? See? Sure is. Tiny Taters was for hockey. Dizzy Demons is my football team. We just beat the Squiddly Diddlies 5-0. Oh yeah, he has a point. We're actually in a hurry. It's my mom's birthday and Dad wanted to buy her a record for her. He wanted to get an album that has a queen on it. Someone like that pink lady, Mimi. Oh, I just saw a band called Sister. The Queen had a sister, right? So like sister could mean queen? No. Maybe this queen is an alien. Or a dinosaur. Or I don't know, a robot? Seriously? A robot? Look, grown up, it's up to you. Some album that's got a queen on it that isn't Mimi or Sister and has a robot. Okay. Let's go downstairs. Oh. There, it's the new one. Hey, Mario, look one in. Right? Isn't Mimi your sister? Right? It's got a robot on it. Let's try that. Well, that's definitely a robot. Oh wait, it has a song about queens. Okay, Dad, do you think Mom would like this one? Dad seems to think so. Great job, grown up. Looks like we're both winners today. You said it, Dad. Until next time, grown up. Nice. Hi. So, there's no easy way to say this. My dad died recently. Oh. Thanks. Sorry to just drop that bombshell, but it's actually why I'm here. See, me and my dad were super tight. We shared so many interests. Politics, chess, horror films. I don't know, lots of dumb stuff. But the one we didn't share was music. I've just never been that bothered, you know? No offense. But my dad loved music, especially really loud bands. He loved going to their gigs and collecting their records, which brings me back to why I'm here. Dad left me his record collection. I know they meant a lot to him, so it means a lot to me, which gave me this idea that I should, like, help add records to his collection. Help me bring close to a part of him that I didn't know. The dumb thing is, because I don't know much about music, struggling to think of what to buy. Okay, so I do have this one idea. Oh, I know that one. Yes. I got it. Upstairs, the green one. Oh, one more. Da-da-da! Featured in classic 90s gore film Decaying Debbie. Cool. Alrighty, there's a new one. Wow. I didn't know what I was expecting, but that looks like the one. Now that I think of it, Dad would do stupid snarling noises all the time. I just didn't connect the dots that it was actually the name of the band. Thank you for this. I'll go home and let my hair fly. I think he would have liked that. Oh. Showing my girlfriend Brick Dog. I don't think she likes it though. Oh. Okay, we're in the back with Morgan and Mateo. Slow day, right? It felt slow. Come on, Morgan, it's not like you to doubt yourself. People love music. We sell music. It's worked before. Why not now? Yeah. It's been a long week. You're tired. Let's close the shop and be done with it for now. Yeah, alright. Sod it. Let's get out of here. You coming to Apple Bed with us, kid? Yeah, it's nice to hang with everyone. If you say so. God, the music in this game is so good. It's just so fun. Grab a seat, kid. Everyone's just at the bar. Careful not to knock out my tequila sunrise. Phew! Oh, and a heads up, everyone's clued in and talking about what happened with Dan this week. We said we were gonna give Morgan space, but I worry about her. Like, is she okay? And what about us? Are we okay? I'm so restless in moments like this. Oh, hey, kid. Uh-oh, I can't face Morgan right now. Good luck, kid. Wait, wasn't Paul just out with you? He had to pee. That's a little too much information, but whatever. So, what about you? Not sick of us yet? No? And I'd like to get you a drink? Oh, you want to walk me over to the bar? Well, accept the gift horse of alcohol. Or something like that. Good evening. Kid, have you met Pat? They've had the honors. He used to play in a band with me. A band, huh? Come on, Morgan, we were the band once. He also used to be a lot more quiet. Where's the service in this establishment? I need service. Hold that thought. So, kid, what poison are you picking for me? Can you give me a clue? Come on, kid, get inspired. Find me a beer that's out of this world. Shit. Oh, what is this one? Asteroid belt. It's gotta be this one, right? Definitely not that. Okay, we'll try that one. See if Morgan likes it. You figured it out then. Yes! I didn't take you for being big on astrology. Astrology? I couldn't give two hoots about that space nonsense, but the beer? You can't beat it. Thanks very much, by the way, for offering to buy. But I think I'll be getting these. I am your boss, after all. Let's head back to the others. Not Pinot Noir. I asked for Grenache. And I've been telling you since you arrived an hour ago, we don't have Grenache. And I still don't believe you. What kind of bar doesn't have Grenache? Please, please stop bothering me. Where do you think you're going? I haven't gotten served yet. Poor Pat. He's got such a high threshold for pains in the arse. Must be wild knowing someone for most of your life. And having been in one of the biggest bands in the world together. Not that we would know about that. Or why we can't sell music from your very famous sister. Or why her husband, also from said band, wants to steal your store and make us all unemployed. Sigh. It's complicated. Nuh-uh, girl. It's not complicated. It's D-R-A-M-A. Drama. You need to spill the tea. Okay, fine. You want to get into it? Fine. Yes, becoming Violet were a big deal once. And call me old-fashioned, but to me it was never about that. it's wild rock and roll stories you want, then better to ask your local barman. Isn't that right, Pat? Oh, you better believe it. I love Pat. I think Pat is so fun. This grandpa has stories about the 80s that will blow your young, squishy minds. Service! Excuse you, I still need service over here. Shut up, Clarissa. Which I will tell at another time. Ugh. The attention wasn't the attraction for me. I just wanted to make music and live it. And the truth is, I was good at it, so I did. Suddenly, we were shooting music videos, going to award shows, and touring the bloody world. But with every new glitzy milestone, the further from the music we strayed. Some in the band loved that. Me, drove me crazy. And with fame, every action you take ends up being scrutinized by everyone. The fans, the press, and each other. It's easy to forget how much pressure that is on 4 young kids that only know how to play guitar and sing about their feelings. Things get messy. Like with Willow? Yeah, she was in the band. I mean, what? Like how Willow and James ended up together? Kid, what I'm talking about comes from a deeper place. I have lost not a wink of sleep over the loss of James Grant in my life, be that romantic or otherwise. Hell, one of the worst things about this whole disaster is having to talk to him again. Then why are we talking to him? Why do we have to put up with that crap from some ex-psycho you had? Shh, I wish I knew. Look, there's baggage, I won't deny it. James has always been an asshole, but an asshole who gets bored easily. This is bark and no bite. We're just his flavor of the week before he inevitably gets bored and moves on. But what if he doesn't? Doesn't what? Get bored. Him and Dan seemed super serious the other day. Those two are just dullards with too much free time and money swinging their dicks to get a crowd. They're nothing to worry about. Love it. And, what about the Willow baggage? Okay, that's a different subject. Anyway, look, the top level is we ain't losing Repeater. Sure, we've seen better days, but this is not an existential threat. You'll see. It's all gonna be fine. Trust me. We believe in you, Morgan. Yeah, of course we do. We're a team. Should we group hug now? Are you mad? Get off of me. Enough. Look, I get it. Thanks. Just no more hugs, please. Jesus. I love how sassy Morgan is. That's great. Morgan been through some shit. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. We're on to side C now. So a new week. New records as well. Good morning, and welcome to another episode of The Bullshit Investigators. Trademark. What? That's right, you think there's some bullshit going on in your local record store? The forces of capitalism threatening your job? The vibes feeling off? Never fear, for we are The Bullshit Investigators, 2 black queers with a love for gossip. Okay, what is happening? Look, we're clearly in crisis, and Morgan isn't telling us everything. There's a hole in the story. A willow-shaped hole. Willow clearly didn't just turn up to Repeater for a coffee with Sis. And you know, she's in bed with the enemy. Literally, girl. Right, and the plan is, we need more information, because knowledge is power. And lucky for us, being bullshit investigators. Trademark. We're masters of information gathering. For one, I'm a Willow fan. Forum moderator, and I know a few girlies who are bona fide Willow historians. And I know some terminally online punks who would love an excuse to go after some rich loser. So I'm going to ask them to look into James's business ventures. Sounds cool. What can I do to help? We need you to front the store, because we're all doomed no matter what if we don't keep selling records. Then we reconvene later. But not too much later. There might not be any record store left to discuss. Want to be all Trinity from the Matrix. Hey! Okay, team. The answer is out there, and it's looking for us, and it will find us if we want it to. Let's go find it. Girl, I can't believe she just... Oh, snap. I totally forgot. Kid, while me and Abby were playing detective, we totally forgot to pack up this collector's edition home order we received. Can you please box it up before we open? Frick. Another puzzle. Gosh darn it. I don't know how I'm supposed to fit a freaking trumpet in the middle of this. Let me try that. Like there. Okay. Okay, hold up. Maybe I do got this? Maybe I don't got this right now? Where the frick do I put this? I feel like we're so close. Or like just like a hair of a centimeter off somewhere. Risk Morgan not seeing this finished? No, I don't want to risk Morgan not seeing it finished. What do you mean? Ah, frick. Oh, hang on. Got it. Yes. Huge. Hi, Oso. Welcome on in. I'm doing good. How are you? Alrighty, the new Walking the Cow. Mimi's mess, Ghostwriter confirmed, and Robbie Dare romance? Whoa! Falls from grace, citing rumors of not writing her last album and dating disgraced rock star. After weeks of rumors circulating Mimi's new album, Mecha Mimi Meets Mother, about her possible use of a ghostwriter, her own record label, Spot Studios, has confirmed it. In a carefully prepared PR note, they allege that ghostwriters are common practice, and that no act of betrayal has occurred between Mimi and her fans. Simply put, Mimi sings on every track on this record, so make no mistake, this is a Mimi record through and through. Mimi had previously built her star power on the illusion of self-realization, choreographing her own videos and singing about personal inner demons. Fans are now left with a bitter taste, with an air of mistrust and disappointment growing in the fandom. What information we do know is a tantamount to an interesting twist in the scandal. Mimi is also now dating Robbie Dare, the infamous singer from Bricked Ego and Ego Sunny Side Up. Dare is notably a controversial figure, known for his cavalier, drunken performances where he has berated his audiences. The solo album He Who Dares was maligned for being pretentious and sexist. It's another disturbing revelation for Mimi fans, and it has led to a fresh wave of rumors, with Robbie Dare now being suspected as the secret ghostwriter behind Mimi's new album. Huh. Suspicious. We did, what was it, Gaffa Tape? Let's try this one, We Keep Dancing by Pink. I'm gonna be honest. I really wish I understood this Willow malarkey. Her music is so important to me that I don't want to think like badly of her. Maybe it won't be so bad. Only one way to find out, I guess. Think you can hold down the fort, kid? You can count on me. Alrighty, time to go open. Oh hey, it's the gamer guy. Hey, guess what? I promise you won't believe it. See, you're already not believing it. It really is that amazing. I don't believe you for being completely mind blown. You give up? Here goes. I finally beat the ice castle in Punko Night. I know, and just in time too. Did you see the trailer for Punko Night 2? Everything about it was awesome. The shadows look so realistic. It just oozed style. And did you hear the upbeat electronic music? It was rocking in time with the fights. Whole thing felt hella sick. I'm so hyped for the game. I want to listen to that trailer music again. You think maybe you have it or something similar? Had a killer. Ooh. Interesting. We gotta find, because we've got all new music here. Blues. And that Willow McIntyre duet? Ooh, okay. Surprised we are allowing that to be in the store. Oh, the Mimi album is on sale after all of her scandals. Sister, Bricked Ego, all the same. Alrighty, over here. This is rap. Which means we gotta look upstairs for some electronic. Ah. I wonder if this could be like it's in a video game, huh? Suspicious. Soundtracks. Okay, is there anything else? Okay, those are the same albums there. Okay, so it's this one. Then it's an easy figure it out. Oh! It's even got a handheld game machine on the cover, huh? Shy Robot, continue. This had mad gaming vibes. Sick. I'm gonna kick this on and watch some more breakdowns on the Punko Night 2 trailer. Maybe they'll introduce Punkosaur in this one. I cannot wait. Okay, hi Kelsey. With real besties. Ever since I turned 30, I've been thriving. This tranquil, lovely album, the vinyl itself looked like the sun. Can't ask the host about the record now. Anyway. Okay, it looks with a vinyl that looks like the sun. I have a feeling. No, right? I just want to double check. No. Let me check the albums down here. No. This is a bright green one. That's cool. That looks like the sun. Gotta be the yellow one, right? It's sure as hell ain't this one, right? No. Okay, I feel like it's gotta be this one. Let me double check though. It's not any of these like weird ones. Random heavy rock albums. No, but that is cool. That's a cool record. Okay. Wait, we didn't check this one too. No. Didn't think so. It's a sophisticated album. That's it. That's the one. I recognize it. Wind Poems? Oh my god. Yes, exactly. This is what I'm talking about. This is where I'm at. This is me, my moment. I'm ready to feel, ready to evolve. I'm ready to think about the things. Thank you. You're welcome, Kelsey. Hey, afternoon. I just moved here from out of town. I've walked past your store a few times and it looks so inviting. I had to come in. It's really cool to see you selling such old musical wares. Records are cool, but I can't seem to find your CD section. You do sell CDs, right? I'm sorry, no, just records. What? But CDs have no deviation in playback speed. They don't depreciate in quality the way vinyls do. I know they were once seen as cheap and inelegant, but surely you must appreciate their truest, purest form of encapsulated music media. Well, we all are called repeater records. I haven't. Do they have CDs? Yes. Yes, they do. Amazing. I'll head there right now. Thanks for being so neighborly, and sorry about pointing out you're selling an inferior product. Cheerio. It's repulsive. Not you. Them. After signing all those NDAs, I just thought if I leaked the word out, even if it meant putting my career on the line, then it could finally be my moment. Mine. But then they ruined it with their convenient puppy dog love story. Now that's all the press want to talk about. No one cares about me. Maybe he was the secret writer. Huh. Him? He couldn't write himself out of bed. Ooh! Is this Mimi's ghostwriter? At least I think I'm probably right. I've never actually listened to any of his music. Okay, show me the weasel's work. I can't even say his name, I'm too mad. This takes like a lot of like built up knowledge of like every album and who's like the creator. It looks so tacky. Okay, let's see how anyone could possibly think that hack could write songs as elegant as mine. I'll get my dues. Just you watch. Remember this face. My time will come. Because if I didn't remember that Robbie Dare was a part of Ego, then I wouldn't have been able to get that one right. Psst. Yo, mate. Yeah, you. Easy, easy. Don't want to draw too much attention, yeah? Look, I think you're stalking my album. My first ever released album, and I'm dying to see it out in the wild. Huh. I wonder which album is yours, huh? That's it, mate. Oh yeah, that is proper cool. How'd you know it was me? You're saying the mask is too obvious, are you? Aw, no. Why are those people over there pointing at me? Nah, I gotta get out of here. Cheers, mate. You're a real one. Yeah, no shoot. You got a video game on your face. Ugh. Roberta D. You have been warned. I want the bullshit investigating good, and I'm ready to dish out some dirt. Oh, you go, girl. Okay, here's what I found out on one Mr. James Grunt. First up, his dad was a corporate lawyer. Bet he has classic daddy issues. Bingo! Apparently James got into music to be the complete opposite of his dad. But despite his rebel image and carefree facade, he puts himself in charge of the business for becoming Violet, and the others let him. Rumors that he negotiated pretty terrible deals for all of them, except himself, that is. Gross. Money always finds the people who already had it first. And of course, when becoming Violet disbands, he got himself an impressive split in Willow's biz when becoming her manager, leaving Pat and Morgan with nothing but peanuts, I bet. The main takeaway is our Mr. Grunt is certainly a maniacal asshole. He's just looking out for himself. Larg. I just got the ick. I know. What could Willow see in him? Girl, I know! Don't forget Morgan dated him too. If nothing else, those McIntyre sisters at least share their bad taste in men. Speaking of those sisters, did you manage to dig up any info on what happened? You were looking into Willow, right? My fellow bullshit investigator? I got nothing. Aw, damn it, Paul. I tried, okay? My Willow forum nerds were hopeless. Nothing but ridiculous rumors and hearsay. And I should know because I started those rumors years ago. It's just impossible because Willow rarely ever does interviews. Man, she's just as mysterious as Morgan. But listen, I'm not giving up. I'm gonna get to the bottom of this sister hoopla. I just need to get creative with it. Alright. There wasn't any more tea dropped in that last couple of dialogue boxes. It's fine. Alrighty. Track 10. Ooh. Whoa, Roberta D, Doomsday Hero. Huge. Good morning. Let's open the shop. Or what? Did I stutter? Chop chop. Hey T, stop cosplaying Morgan. Just chill. Today is too important to chill. It's not like you to fall to such blatantly capitalistic event. Oh, whatever. You always talk about how important it is to meet your people. These are my people. Sorry, what about your people? Roberta D fans are my people, and today is Roberta D Day, so a lot of them will turn up. Morgan didn't tell you? We're taking part in an exclusive Roberta D promo. Roberta D is doing select drop-ins to participating stores, which is why T here is going nuts. I will admit, it's pretty wild to see someone so big stop by. Girl Drunk will have a gig at the Apple Bed soon. We need to attract like-minded cool people to our show. I will strike up a cool and relaxed conversation with Roberta. She'll look at me and go, oh, you mix music? Maybe we should work together. Right. Well, I guess dreams are important to have. It worked for that shy robot dork. And it's not less likely than your junk band making it big. Hey guys. Kid's right. I don't have time to argue. Need to get ready. Sigh. Did she at least set up that Roberta D promo? Sorry, kid. Can you give me a hand? Frick. I gotta do a damn puzzle. Two on top of all of this? Thankfully, it's like one of the easiest puzzles of all time, so it's chill. Oh, set up inside the store. Okay, let's see. Happy Roberta D Day. Y'all, shout out to my absolute fave with this photo of me from one of my all-time fave nights out, seeing her at Cake Shack. Pure bliss, babe. Press play wants to press stop on the cow. This is Linny Hurst, editor-in-chief of Walking the Cow. It's rare that we break the fourth wall so bluntly, but these are unusual times. As of yesterday, James Grant, the CEO of Pressplay, has begun the process of trying to acquire Walking the Cow under the guise of bringing our readership and editorial under the monopoly of his fledgling music platform. It's a move that has made myself and the editorial staff concerned for both our job security and also the integrity of our work. Walking the Cow stands as a proud music journalistic body built up from a diverse staff whose individual voices make us want to equally critique, challenge, and champion the world of music. Fortunately, we as the editorial team don't own the rights to Walking the Cow, which is why in response to this hostile act, we are presently exploring options to unionize and establish protective measures to protect us from predatory acts of harm. We will need your support more now than ever. The music journalism we do is important, and it's what we love doing, and we are ready to fight for it. With your support, there's nothing we can't do. Sign our petition calling on Press Play and our owners to recognize our unionization efforts. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, let's play Roberta D. Since it's Roberta D Day. Ready for the big day? You're gonna love Roberta. Ah, these are all Roberta albums, huh? Is every album a Roberta album? Oh, fun! Lovely. Every album is a Roberta album. How about upstairs too? Oh, it's locked today. It's all just... They're all just Roberta D albums. Oh no, we're gonna have to figure it out. Hello. So, like, you guys are big on Roberta D today, huh? She got a new album out or something? She has 4 new albums out today. 4? Are they all different? Yes and no. Sounds intense. I guess I'm a bit of a Roberta D newbie. I wouldn't know where to begin. Has she done any collaborations? Oh yeah, a bunch. Yonkers. A bunch, huh? Well, okay then. I think you'd probably like this one. Hello, is that a Shy Robot Collab? I just got really into him. His first album is Yonkin' Good. Wow, to think he worked with Roberta D. That's crazy. Good call. This is sure to get me into Roberta D too. Have a Yonkin' good day. Yonkin'. He's only selling Roberta D records today. I wanted to stop by, but I saw the promo and I do not want to be surrounded by a bunch of bopping neoliberal nerds. Roz. Catchy Roberta D song out of my head. Da-dum, dum, da-dum, dum, dum. What the fuck? Rare catchy dance number? How the hell am I supposed to do that just based on that? Okay. Was it this one? The one that's currently playing? We could try that one. Actually, hold up. Dancing like geometric shapes. Let's try it. Otherwise, I may have messed up. And that's okay. Okay, that cover is speaking to me. It's definitely a Roberta D record I don't already own. Okay. I did it okay. Huge. Oh, Cass is here. You redecorated or something? The records and colors in here are blinding. Looks like you're doing me a favor, though. There's a Roberta everywhere in here. That wouldn't be Roberta D, would it? D. It's Roberta D. Of course it is. My cuz, man. He's 42. Oh, exactly. And before this career business, he worked as a receptionist at a doctor's office. Called Go Romantic. It's probably this one. Romantic. Okay, I'm assuming it's that one. Romantique? That actually makes sense. Although, can't help but think about the go part. Man, what a pain. Well, no time to think about it. Let's just cross our fingers, alright? Oh, there was another one. Uh-oh. Hello, darling. I am Mrs. Ralph, and this is my handsome husband, Mr. Ralph. Don't mind him. He's not much for chatter. He's an important, very important man. And here we are today, darling, in your quaint little shop, because we understood you're selling some music from one of our dearest, oldest friends. You didn't say who. Roberta, of course. We went to university together. We're such old and wonderfully close friends. So I've been trying to find the album she began writing back at school. To reminisce together and then perhaps get a photograph together and give her my husband's business card. He's a wonderful photographer. Then, of course, get her to sign the album to increase its value. Its sentimental value, of course. I'm not asking much, am I, darling? Frick. Okay, well, those are all the new ones. try this one. The middle one, and not the original one. No, darling, are you kidding me? She asked for the first album. Sorry, bestie. Oh, how I love Roberta D. She's a true auteur. She's everything I aspire to be. Artistic principles built like a hard exoskeleton. Whether they be land or sea, the world is her oyster. Do you think you could find me a record that truly represents my vision of her? No. Listen, Roberta D. Day needs to end. I could like replay this. Oh, here we go. Like she can see in all directions, all possibilities available to her. Whether they be land or sea, the world is her oyster. Soft creative underbelly hidden and pure. I guess let's just try this one. I don't understand. I don't know if we got that one at all. That's a really good choice, but I don't think it really captures the true essence of Roberta D as an artist, don't you think? Yeah, no, failed, apparently. Okay. Hi. Record with the goblin inside. Do you have it? Sorry, the goblin? Do you know who I am? Find out who I am. Give me the Roberta D record with the goblin. Boredom. And Agelos. With the goblin inside. Found it. Alrighty. That made it easy at least. Unless there's one on everyone. Okay, no. Bergif is apparently. Maybe not. I don't know who that is. But it has a goblin inside. Ugh, why can't life just ever be just easy? Why? My boyfriend loves Roberta D. So I thought of buying him the new album would be the perfect, easy gift, but now I have to suddenly make a big choice. Like, what happens if I pick the wrong one? What if he breaks up with me? What then? We just have to think. I can't afford to make any mistakes with gifts. Ooh, okay. No outer space, no demons, no icebergs. Okay, I saw at the bottom of that record. That's outer space, lunar hole. That's gotta deal with demons, I'm sure. Hellstorm. Glacial cave. And drought dad. There we go. This should help. Perfect, that looks totally not scary. Not a star or block of ice in sight. Finally bought the perfect gift. My relationship is saved. Yay. Yay! Okay. Psst. Hey, come here for a sec. I think T is too intimidated to have a cool and relaxed convo with Roberta D. Want to do an intro? Yeah, why not? But you haven't known her that long, so if you bring this up, it'll be less embarrassing for her. Kid, what are you doing? Come here a sec. What are you doing? Excuse me. You gestured me over. Did you need something? Cool. Can I ask you a question? Yeah. How did you like Doomsday Hero? I didn't. I feel like you used to tell stories with your music that I could relate to. Like how Fleshcar you talk about what it's like to feel, just wrong somehow. After Amalgamate, I always thought that if I'd met you, I'd ask you if you were lonely too. But this new stuff doesn't sound like you. Maybe you're just experimenting or whatever. To me, Doomsday Hero feels like it's role-playing in a costume of your ideas. It's just really difficult not to make what you think other people want. So I guess I get it. But yeah. I can't believe you just said that to my face, T. You're tough. You asked, though. Yes, I did. I think I actually agree. Perhaps that's why I couldn't settle on one version, but I had to have 4. Interesting. You've given me much to think about. Thank you, T. You're a real one. I'm T. T! Why didn't you tell her you wanted to work with her? Still not talking to you? Nope. Well, and it will be. She's just processing. Why the hell did you make me talk to her? She's gonna be fine. Plus, she asked you. She was cool with it, I promise. Ugh. Oops. She'd tell any of the others what happened. I swear, this is so embarrassing. I don't, like, need Roberta D to like me. But it would be cool, right? Yeah, it's silly. Nah, it's not silly. Losing your cool like that is. Lots of people lose their cool. Yeah, and they end up looking dumb. Don't beat yourself up. You didn't look dumb. I just wanted her to get it, you know? I want to feel the way I felt when I heard her music for the first time. Maybe she'll try. Imagine. Imagine if I talked her into it. That would be pretty cool. Maybe it was okay you made me talk to her after all. It's just, this stuff is hard for me somehow. Everyone gets so upset, you know? Like they're gonna die if they don't constantly do something. Mateo feels bad because he's not doing enough or whatever. Abby is killing herself for a band that isn't even hers. And I just don't feel that way. And I thought it's easier to just not care. Should I feel like that? I just don't feel that much ever. Is that weird? You're just you. Okay. We had a couple misses that day. Little sad. Little oopsies. Have we gotten any other achievements? We're still on side C. Hi, Jess. Don't be sad over resub. Thank you for the 47 months. I truly appreciate it. Welcome back on Intel Loser Club. I hope you enjoy your continued sub badge and your continued use of modes out here. Complete all sorting puzzles. Oh! So those were the little puzzles that we had to do. And then we did the B side. We have... there's C. We're still in C right now? There's D and E. I just want to see if we can finish off C today. And then we'll do D and E next week. Hey, kid. So, actually, have you read the new copy of Shrub Sounds? Ooh, okay, Shrub Sounds. Leah Weber becoming Violet, Bad Toes, Baby Benny Blue, Post Void Records, and more. Interview with Leah Weber, the siren of song, talks to Takata Yudaha, reflecting on her sprawling music career, and at long last reveals how she convinced the Willow McIntyre to duet on Chariot, one of the most beautiful songs put on record, taken from her earth-shattering album Tense Glass. Still think Under My Skin is her best song. Benny Blue, Jim, and Diamond 2. Contemporary crooner Babyface Benny Blues has just announced he has bought the back catalog of 1970s favorite folk duo Jim and Diamond. Because of his mom, who used to sing their songs to him when he was a boy. She adored Jim and Diamond and had even been their #1 dazzler. Rolling on Down to the City, which replaces the upbeat funky medley with a somber, weepy ballad. The 40th anniversary of the seminal Becoming Violet album, Faces in Faces. Okay. Shauna Morgan looks behind the mask to explore Faces in Faces, an album which defined Becoming Violet and the 80s. Ambitious, brave, and bold. It's an album that has left its mark on music, culture, and countless bands since. and guitarist in Bad Toes, shares an abstract from her upcoming book of essays, Afraid of the Dark. Okay. Post Void Records, The Kings of Alt. Really? Oh. It's the record company. I was like, we can't have another record store against us. Lunar Break. Coming soon. Sizzling Spoonies. Bands, bands, and bands. Live music. Want to play? Get in touch. A dog. Oh, Sizzling at Spoonies. My bad. I read that wrong. Great issue, don't you think? I really want to talk about some of my favorite bits in this issue. Well, I had a look at the sales over the last few weeks. How do I put this? It's not, or at least I don't think, even though you could argue, just tell me. Yeah, you're right. We're just not selling enough fast enough. I don't know if Morgan knows this already, but employees, your boss is speaking. Jeez, don't look so frightened. Listen, I need you to tell punters that the basement is now open. Why? What's in the basement, Morgan? Well, you'll check that out. You'll find that out if you check the basement. Yeah. Customers will think we're sending them off to get murdered. Only until word gets around, I guarantee it. Alright, you got me. I'll go check. Kid, if I don't make it back, take care of my lizard, okay? He's joking, right? He'll be fine as long as he remembers there's a low beam in the doorway. Ouch. Son of a... Sounds like you just adopted a lizard, kid. Morgan, are you kidding me? Those are Becoming Violet records. Some of that stuff is unreleased. And you, what, just had boxes of this here the whole time? Yeah, so... Well, that's the point. You should go and tell him. I'm going to need a moment. Okay then, you big baby. Me and the kid are gonna open this door then. Huge. Womp womp, sad times for the old Brick Dog crew. Man, that Robbie Dare turned out to be a real pond scum, huh? They just don't make them like tar anymore. No, not Robbie Dare. Still going are still pissing off the world. Touring with Evolution, Eevee, and Quack Pack in support of their upcoming new EP, Dad Socks. Oh, that's so good. Evolution Eevee as a band name is sick. Imagine getting chewed out for not writing profound songs like Dreaming About My Best Friend's Mom and Dickie Fights when you're over 50 years old. Very good. Very good. Oh, I wanted to play a new song. You might wonder why I rib Hank this much. The answer is because it's fun. Come on, open sesame. Aye aye. Wait. How do I go back to the... That's the storage room. Oh, we can go down now. Okay, here we are. Still going. Dad Socks. What is this one? Down Up Wave Master. Becoming Violet. That's Faces and Faces. And then that's the 15-minute break. That's what Morgan used to look like. I wanted to go back to the break room. Ooh, Suffering Jukebox. I can just do it here. What was the song I wanted to listen to? This one. Let's add NeoPixel to the queue. And let's add the Mimi album. Desperate Crowd by Becoming Violet is on first today. Good morrow to you. My perceptive senses tell me that something has changed. We open the basement. Aha! And there it is. Oh, how I adore basements. Dingy, full of cobweb stamps, all the best conditions to guarantee tremendous, delicious discounts. Best basement bargain. Alrighty, what's on sale now? So that's $7.50. And this is 80% off of... Fuck, what's 80% off of 20? $4, right? Did I do my math right? What's 80% off of 20? It's 4, right? I think it's 4. Let's go with this one. Because the other one is $7.50. Let's hope I did my math right. Oh ho ho! Can you smell that? It's got that basement bargain smell all over it. That's how you know it's earned my attention. A champion above champions. Bravo! What a treat. Ta-ta! Okay, we did get it right. Whew! Close one. Sup? Good to see you again, drone. Got no time to chew the corporate fat, though. I'm on a mission. I've secured some capital from Mother, meaning I have the necessary funds to purchase something truly sickening. I was in here last week with my sister and I saw something. It was an album cover with loads of messed up faces on it. The one that was here last week, so not that one, because that's a new one. This one was here last week for sure. The other one was not there last week. Yes, that is the artifact I'm seeking. Good job, corporate drone. Your overlords will be satisfied by your zealousness. Allow me to give you a smiley face for customer satisfaction. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go home. Good. What do we get on phonogram? Went to see Snarl last night and it was so damn loud I burst my only bloody kidney left. It was rock and roll. Snarl and weep until I die. Hey kid, it's me, your favorite. Who's playing right now? Oh, this is the Nia Pixel.
Si no arribo en l'espí i mínim 17 punts de vida és impossible. Saps què te vull dir?
A veure, no.
Male herbies.
Tu saps parlar bé el català?
Sick. I'm working on a new zine and I just couldn't wait to tell you. I'm hoping to get more people to crowdfund for Repeater. Honestly, it's sort of a test run for the Too Bright crowdfunding campaign I want to start. It's technically what I always do, telling people about stuff I feel strongly about and then hoping they feel the same, but as soon as you're asking for money, it gets nerve-wracking, doesn't it? So I need an idea for a cover from you, please. Do you have any cool ideas? What? What's going on? Ah, Paul, let me guess, you want to talk about the basement? Oh my god, what is happening? He didn't know about the basement, did he? Oh, my lord. You wouldn't stop becoming Violet, but you held out on this? Morgan, Diva, you're crazy. Nah, all I wanted was for people to go this nuts over a few boxes from my basement. Well, that worked. Can I have one of the records? If you pay for it. Staff discount? We don't have a staff discount. We haven't had one for years. I wouldn't be surprised if Mateo using his staff discount was the whole reason we got into this mess. I gotta, oh boy, the zine cover. Kid, you gotta make that cover. We gotta get that zine out the door ASAP. Okay. Faces and faces. Ooh, okay. I like this eye. We want something a little bit funky, like all over the place. Hi Bruce, welcome on in. Let's just do like this kind of face. I kind of like that, that's cool. Great job. I'll dash to the printers. Moi, moi, moi. Hey again, I wanted to say thanks. You really helped me out finding that Snarl record from my dad's record collection. It was healing working on it, but now I want to try something different. I want to add something for myself. My dad liked collecting records, so maybe I will too. A dad-daughter joint collection. But I've been struggling to think of what to buy. I was hoping maybe you could help me out again. Any Easy Circle or Lil Nitro? Easy Circle or Lil Nitro on them. Okay. Well, the only rap albums we have are these ones, so let's look. Easy Circle, Lil Nitro, Dolly D. Easy Circle. This is the rap section. It doesn't give me any songs. Nothing there. Okay. Let's try this. How's the game been so far? It's been super fun. We are 4 hours into the game. So I want to say we're like approximately like halfway-ish. Give or take a little bit. I really like it. It's fun. I like being able to pick out records for people. Yeah, like that. And you can choose what songs to put on in the store too. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I couldn't overhear about your father. And well, you see, I recently lost someone very dear to me. Oh no, I'm so sorry to hear that. Thank you. Bradley was and still is the love of my life, but recently I found it helpful to talk to others. All of this to say, if you ever would like to grab a coffee with me and share stories of your father, well, I'd very much like to do that. Oh, that's so sweet. Oh. Yes, absolutely. Bye for now. Oh. Sorry, friend, I was ignoring you there. It's all good. That was nice. It's sad for such a young woman to be grieving her father. Grief is a horrible, horrible thing, but you know. Coming to the store stirred something in me. Living with the memory of Bradley and letting his love for me continues to allow me happiness. Maybe such a thing can help bring people together. It would have been our 40th anniversary this week. 40 years. My goodness. How do you mean? You don't look a day over 30. Oh, stop it, you. You're embarrassing me. But yes, I was thinking in honor of 40 years, it would be nice to celebrate it with a song from that time. I'm useless at remembering names, as you know, but if you could think of something that was popular roughly 40 years ago. Well, I know which album that is. Because it came out 40 years ago. This one. Ah! Becoming Violet. I remember. Yeah, this was popular back then. Let me look at the back here. Take it. Oh, how wonderful. Yes, I remember this song. I can feel the memories floating in. I should go home and put it on. Enjoy a glass of sherry and reminisce. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Winston! Ugh. One of my favorites. Hank. What's with that face? Oh, I'm just honestly a bit emotional. This proves it. Morgan knows what's going on and she cares. And I've been thinking so badly of her the whole time. Now I know she looked at my spreadsheets of our financials. Now I know Morgan has the financial acumen necessary too. Hey, why is there an old punk crying in my staff room? Morgan! I take it you're happy? Yes, I was just saying to the new kid, I'll have the sales spreadsheet on your desk by the end of the week. Huh? What the hell would I want with some spreadsheets? You're the one that's always been fretting about those. Also, what desk? You stay a heck away from me with more paper to look at. Understood? I think he might cry again. Ugh. I'm not good with that. Maybe that's why I didn't become famous. But even the supposedly normal job made me think, no job feels safe, so you should know what you really want to do. Shops are closing left and right through no fault of their own. Why would it be any different? Alrighty. What day are we heading into? Okay, we're still on track C. Side C. Morning, kid. Yawn. Morning. Are you alright? Oh, I'm alright. Thank you for asking. Just a bit tired. Paul has asked me to switch shifts with him a lot recently. I've been here so often that I'm becoming awfully familiar with that coffee stain in the corner. And that crack in the floor down there. Maybe tell Paul no? I could. He wouldn't ask if it weren't important. First, Too Bright got in trouble, and now us. I mean, they're both owned by the same waste of space. My point is, Paul's been putting out fires left and right. You know, we were hired together, him and I. Two painfully shy nerds with giant glasses. Okay, one painfully shy nerd. Paul has never been shy. No, you're kidding. I'm not. I swear. We used to work here full time. Paul applied because he was such a huge Becoming Violet fan. He was nervous around Morgan. Well, he allowed himself to be comfortable, I think. The point is we were young and lost once. But I never really found the one thing that makes me happy. Like a job I really want to do or because I want to help. And Paul just listened to me fret about that stuff. Meeting him and working here made me find a lot of little things to love and enjoy. He just kept growing, and I think finding his own queer space helped him with that. So now, when he needs help, I want to be there for him. Yawn. Jeez, okay, big man. You hang back for a little, and we'll get the shop open. Meet you out there, kid. Alrighty, let's look at the walking cow for the day. Ooh, an eagle? Oh no! Quack Pack lose their stacks? Have their tour van stolen while on a UK tour with Pink Band still going. Canadian post-punk rockers Quack Pack have had their tour van stolen on their UK tour with aging punk rockers still going in Piers Evolution Eevee. How could they lose their poor van when it looks like that? Ugh. Oh, actually, I would like to. Man, people are tired, huh? But Girl Junk are playing the Apple bed soon. I just want to talk about it so bad. Feels weird to do that when everyone is so busy, though. Alrighty. Opening the store. Wonderful day, isn't it? The sky is clear and I feel life emanating around me. I feel so inspired. I feel fluttering in my chest. I just want to draw, to spill my feelings all over the page. I'm sorry, I'm getting carried away. Ahem. If you hadn't already guessed, I'm indeed an artist. Okay, sure, my day job is being a barista. But in my soul, I'm an artiste. Give me something ambient and fresh that I can make great art to. Okay, so something new. Is there anything good upstairs? Something ambient and fresh that I can make art to. I think it would be this one. Fire, 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 cat. Cool. Thank you ever so much. Okay, fun. We got that one right. Afternoon there, pal. This is one heck of a record store. I haven't seen a store this big since the old mega store in Plymouth. Anyway, I've traveled here to catch the big gig tonight. I tell ya, I'm bloomin' excited. I've never seen the big D-Man live before. The Sunny Side was before my time, so I'm pitching myself that I'm able to see him at all. Still got some time to kill. Since I'm here, I think I'll treat myself and pick up the album on vinyl. From tonight's big show. Yup. There we go. Alrighty, another album sold. Here we go, here we go. Class stuff this is. It's a bloomin' good album. I wasn't too sure about Brick Dog personally, but this collaboration, it just works. Don't let all that gossip in the news bother ya. Robbie Dare, he's a true auteur. It's gonna be bloomin' amazing seeing them live again tonight. I can't wait. Cheers, pal. Ooh, okay. Wax Pack. He's a part of the secret crew. MC Chisel. Give me the record of the one who knows how to. Shouldn't there be a note? I have a feeling it's the other Pixel album, but I don't know. I can't tell. There's no like new sticker on it. Let me go back and read it. I heard there's a new record of my favorite rapper, so listen, let's just make this quick. I don't mean to take the mic, because it's just because I ain't got much time, so give me the record who knows how to. Oh, the one who knows how to rhyme. Got it. Yep. It's just the Neopixel album. So I was right to begin with. It's fine. Hell yeah. Ah, sweet. You went and picked the perfect beat. Neopixel's my girl. She's my bag. I once MC'd for her, if you allow me to brag. I'm buzzing to check out Bus Space, because I heard the quality is cosmic. It's out of space. You're a real one for this. I won't forget. Yawn. A customer found me asleep underneath the basement shelves. Sometimes I wish I had as much energy as Paul does. Oh, that's all thanks to him. There's no one easier to make friends with than Paul. He has high standards of himself, but he's very forgiving of others. Otherwise, we probably wouldn't have. Look, I wasn't at my best when Paul and I met. I drank a lot and partied too hard. I saw all these people with a lot of drive. People like Paul, basically, but never found the one thing for me. I listen to anything, I read anything. Jack of all trades, master of none, I guess. When you're my age, that can start to feel like a failing. Oh. Ended up at Repeater together. Paul doesn't need to work here, but he chose to work here because he wanted to, just like he chose to be my friend. I'm sure that isn't it. Yeah, most days, so am I. But sometimes it's difficult to remember. Some days I still get dark. Sorry if this got heavy. You're a great addition to Repeater, kid. Thanks for caring. Oh my god, check out my niece. She's doing the heel, spin, lock, fire dance. She's like so talented. I love it. Grumpy punk. Irk. Look at all this bright, bubbly nonsense. Blood turtle. Not like it was back in my day. Got records coming out your ears. Too much of it. My grandson, he goes to me like, Eric, granddad. Ever wanted to know what the color orange sounds like? I say to him, orange? What the heck am I wanting to hear orange for? It's a blooming color, ain't it? What's to know? Unbloody believable. That's why you don't see me here too often, but you might have something for me? Something that bleeds old school? Proper that bleeds old school. No. I mean, I do, but it's not. That's definitely not what he wants. He wants like a rock album. (2004) 2021. $19.99. Which one do you want, though, dude? I don't know which one you want. Actually, well, the design on your shirt kind of looks like this. I'm gonna go with this, and then if we fucked it up, we fucked it up. We learn. We move on. We'll figure it out. Nah. Come on, man. You see, this is why I don't come here. I mean, what is this? Does this look like it bleeds old school? Bloody waste of time. Give me more information on what you want. Gelkman, influencer. Hey there, guys. Greetings from the one and only Gelkman. Golfman? Ooh, that joke was a real double bogey. We're in the rough with that one, folks. I'm just kidding. Butter there. But look, seriously, have you never heard of me? Should I have? I'm only one of the biggest influencers in town. I'm one of the most happening, freshest, hippest voices on the look. Seem like straight shooting arrows. I'm just gonna level with you. I'm bloody 38 years old and I want a nap. Ain't that a goddamn mood? Sigh. Look, there's a viral fad online. It's some dance routine. What? Heel, spin, lock, fire dance. Heel, spin, lock, fire. Heel, spin, lock, fire. Okay. I'm gonna guess it's a Mimi album. Nope. That's a Mimi fan. I'm confused by this one. There'd be nothing up here. That's our rock album. If anyone has any ideas, let me know. Am I supposed to know what album this is? teach? I don't know. Can I get a hint? How is can What if we try this one? I have a feeling I'm just gonna get it wrong. It's just the most recent Mimi album, so I'm assuming it's that, but I really don't know. This doesn't seem to have anything to do with dancing. Ugh, I'm so screwed. I messed that one up big time. I just don't know what it would be. Something's going to happen soon, I feel it. I mean, yeah, you've got a gig coming up. I mean, something seismic, so please, come to the Girl Junket. That was so bad, Mateo. That wasn't even a pun. Yeah. Come on, let's move. Alrighty. Are we closing up? Are we going to the apple bed? I did not pick up what was actually going on there. Oh, we are going to the apple bed. Another show. Hell yeah. That means I probably get to pick out a drink for somebody. Yes. Ah, nice to have some peace and quiet before the masses come in. Clamoring for drinks, screaming my name. It's actually a lot like the days back on stage. Hello, stranger. Oh, it's Willow. Willow! How dramatic of you to show up here unannounced. I take it you're in town with James? Why do you say it like that? I'm not saying it like anything. That's just the way it goes these days, isn't it? Either way, welcome. It's been a while. Well, yeah, it's good to be back. Is it? No offense, but word around town is you're right in the thick of it. Trying to be a bartender, people pour their heart out to, eh, Pat? Stop calling me a bartender as if we don't know each other. You can still talk to me, you know. Always could. Well, maybe you can help me then. Someone who works at Repeater contacted me. Someone named Paul. Yep, flamboyant sort of chap. So this is real, huh? Why? What did he say? He wrote to me pleading about how James and I are trying to buy Repeater. He said, I don't know what happened between you, but I'm sure you don't really want her to lose the store she cares so much about. Sigh. Damn it, Pat, I had no idea. Oh no! So it's not the sister's fault, it's just James. The icky boyfriend. He used Thomas, my manager, behind my back to do it. He tells me nothing anymore. Look, he obviously did it that way because he knew you'd disagree. This isn't some random business venture. I can't even trust my own bloody staff. Isn't it enough that I already keep my mouth shut about his dreadful AI crap? And I feel like he no longer sees me as Willow, the person. Just Willow, the celebrity, the promotional tool. I sometimes doubt if he ever saw me as anything else. Not to step on your toes, my dear, but that whole deal sounds a bit of a shitter. Don't you think you need to pour me a few more drinks before giving out such strong life advice to an old friend? Look, I didn't mean any... Like it or not, he's been such a big part of my life, and it's scary losing people, even the difficult ones. No, especially the difficult ones. It's not easy. No, it's not. Maybe it isn't all lost. Have you tried talking to her? Have you tried talking to her? I'm smarter than that. I know how both of you get. Why did this become so complicated, Patty? I just wanted to make music, didn't we? Look, I can't tell you to confront James, just as I can't tell you to talk to Morgan. But Morgan, that old bird's a bit different now. You should see her with her staff. They all adore her. I think she's softened, maybe. Huh. Either way, you never know what can happen if you genuinely say how you feel. Oh. I'll think about it. Thanks, Pat. Telling it like it is as usual. Can't believe we used to call you the quiet one. Compared to you three, I still am. Oh. Aw, man. Stop it. Oh, God. Stop it. Eek. Hi to you, too. What do I do? What do I do? You know what to do. Listen. I wanted all of us to have a good time tonight. But to do that, we need to make music happen. And Maya, Girl Junk's bassist, is sick. She's not coming. We have to cancel the gig. I don't want to cancel the gig. Tell the kid the real reason you haven't canceled yet. No, I'm gonna cancel any minute now. I am. Be honest. Arg. Okay, so I could theoretically take over for her. Just do it. You know every Girl Junk song by heart. But it's not my band. Maya will be mad if I take away from her moment. And you know I've never done this before. What if playing live is something different and I mess up? Now I just feel bad. You know what I mean. You're the one always talking about the power of live music and stuff. Just admit you really want to play. Just ask Girl Junk what they think. But I don't even have a bass. Just wait a little bit longer. Why? This is not a problem that'll fix itself with more time. There he is. Pant. Huff. Puff. My bass. I went. Got it. You went and got your bass for me? Can't leave my jam buddy hanging, can I? Hank, okay. I'll talk to the band. Oh my god, does Abby get to play? Huge. We should get Abby a drink, right? I think flowers are nice, but since you're at my bar, and I'm not a florist, yeah, I think getting her a drink isn't a terrible idea. You think I waste my mind matter on stuff like that? Yeesh, you kids today. Look, it's fine, alright? She's gonna be freaking out about going on stage. Help her not take things so seriously. Something that'll warm the soul, or I don't know, whatever. I don't know, stop staring. Just do what I say. Not take things so seriously. Full of satire. I think that's definitely it. The expanding head, devil rum, metal. Not waiting for my sass. No. I think it's definitely that one. Stouty J. Yeah. Definitely this one. Sounds like a good time. I'd drink that. It looks good to me. I would drink that one. Oh, damn. That's perfect. That drink looks absolutely ridiculous. Look at the straw and everything. She'll never take anything seriously in her life. Again. I'll run this over to her before she gets on stage. Psst, hey, kid. Come to old Pat for a sec. So, this is awkward. I thought I wouldn't have to bring this up if Girl Junk ended up canceling, but remember that amp that blew out during the Denise gig? Well, turns out that one's on me. Something is going on with the wiring in this place. Basically, since that amp, a whole lot of things are going wrong. I want the girls to have their gig, but I need someone to watch the lights and sound. If no one stays on top of it, they'd turn off randomly. I swear I'm getting this looked at soon, but it's just for tonight. Would you be a roadie and handle the electrics during the gig? So you're on the other side? It's like it's go time. Uh-oh, we gotta handle the lights.
Eyes up. Pay attention. Listen to what I say.
Ooh. No, 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 no. Go.
Hey, boy, does this make you uncomfortable? Can look me in the eyes. Yeah, I'm more than a pretty face. Uh-oh, a bit outspoken. Won't you sit there and smile? Yeah, I'm more than a pretty face. Please understand, I don't need you to hold my hand and help me figure out what's going on. Please understand,
That song's good.
get off my hand. I'm well aware of what's been going on. I understand. Oh, I'm so difficult, emotional, unreliable. Because I'm not playing nice. Not laughing at your jokes with the boys.
I like that. The song itself.
Hysterical, out of control. 'Cause I won't shrink down for you, for anyone. Please understand, I don't need you to hold my hand and help me figure out what's going on. Please understand, I don't need you, don't touch my
Yeah,
hand. I'm well aware of what's been going on, I understand. Always polite, don't pick a fight, stay out of sight.
I'm locked in trying to control these mixers.
Speaking too loud, draw in the crowd.
This part is actually pretty cool. I really like it.
Sick and tired of what's been going on.
Okay, we did it. Whew. We survived. So what did everyone think? Only you would go and collect your own reviews after the gig, girl. How do you feel? It was so exciting and scary and powerful. I didn't know music feels different when people are looking at you. I just feel so close to everyone there. The crowd, Girl Junk, Morgan, does it always feel like this? It sure does. You want to switch from manager to musician then? Maybe Hank's band are looking for someone. Hey. You can play Apple Bed anytime. Thanks, Pat. I'm gonna be honest. It feels weird to have this when everything else is going tits up. But I enjoyed it. And joy is a form of resistance, right? But I do want to make sure Repeater is safe first. Yeah, gotta have somewhere to sell your hit records, Abby. I just want you to know Repeater isn't your personal distributor, alright? Says the woman who sold records she found lying around at home. Saving Repeater. I'll drink to that. Cheers, darlings. Cheers. Okay, you lot. Next round's on me. Yes, honey, now we're talking. Okay. Is this gonna be D-sides now? Have we made it now to D-side? If we have, that's where we'll stop, pause and stop. And we'll do D-side and D-side next week. It is! It's D-side! Claudia! Alrighty. Oh my god, the bats. Oh, they're doing construction on our street? Wild. Alrighty. That's where we're gonna stop then for tonight, y'alls. And we will do D and E next week. So that we can finish Waxheads. I'm gonna try and have the VOD scheduled for upload later this week. Just at the start of the weekend here. And And we'll go from there. Um, there's no one really live that I know too well. I'm gonna well, I don't think we will actually raid anybody tonight. We'll leave it at that. I don't think I've done this like ever. And especially not in a really long time. But hey. Because I am gonna go continue to clean my place here and get things together before my family comes into town. I'm just gonna we're gonna end stream together after I say goodbye. So, thank you all so much for hanging out with me tonight. I truly appreciate it. Thank you for hanging out with me while I play some fun indie games that are a little bit different from normal content of sorts. Something that's not Stardew Valley. But I truly appreciate it. So I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your evening, a wonderful rest of your day. Have a good weekend. I will be live on Sunday. And I will catch you all very, very soon. Good.